back to the vlog, and welcome back to it is my Tesla, so welcome back to my new Tesla. Welcome back to my new 85D. That's right, guys, check it out. We are working with an 85D today. New to me, not a new Tesla, but it is an 85D. But as you can see up here, we have the black nose cone, which means it was pre-2016 facelift. I believe that the new front fascia came in 2016. If I am incorrect, I am sure people will correct me in the comments, but that is my understanding. However, this car has a couple things that my car does not. But as always, let's get out of the garage. Model S 85D. There we go. Look at that. As you can already see, wait, let's get out of the garage. I apologize. We got a 570S right here. Wow, wee-wah. What a gorgeous car. Sounds pretty nice too, actually. So, always been a fan of McLaren. Anywho, back to the Tesla, guys. So as you can already see, just looking at the driver's dash, it is, yes, very different than my car. As you can see, it does display other cars on the road. And you know what that means? Yep, that means AutoPilot. Yeah, guys, we are moving on up. We have a Tesla vehicle with AutoPilot now. As you guys know, my P85 from 2014 does not have AutoPilot. And no, this is actually not my car per se. I mean, it is my car. It's my loaner car, but it is just that. It is my loaner car. My car is in the shop. But while we have this car, we are definitely going to be playing around with AutoPilot, which is exactly what this vlog is going to be about. So let's just cover like 2 or 3 more differences. Okay, maybe like 4 or 5, but either way, let's get to those real quick. So as you can see, this car has a black Alcantara, which is actually quite nice. Black Alcantara headliner, all that good stuff. It does have these cream seats. Don't like these as much. The bolsters right here, I mean, as you can see, these bolsters, absolutely fantastic. Much beefier than mine. I like these a lot better, actually. A lot more side-to-side support when you're really getting those G-forces on the turns, you know what I mean? And the other thing is we do not have a center console in this car. So the cars actually didn't originally come with that. I think they started adding it to some of the CPO vehicles, but this car does not have one. It's just a bunch of like empty space down here. So for the better or for worse, that's not there. Right back, oh, the other thing is we have dual motors in this. So this car is all-wheel drive. It's the 85D, so it's an 85 kilowatt-hour battery. Dual motors, front and rear motors. So as you can see, the battery capacity is 246 miles. If I hit this charging button, they did charge it to full, but you can see it's at 246, which is pretty much what mine is full at, around 250, a little bit more, but this car goes more than that. That's because the cars with dual motors had a little bit more range, just better efficiency, I believe. So they were able to get more range out of them. So the 85D obviously got more range than the 85 kilowatt-hour battery packs. Now to get to the nitty-gritty, so as you can see, we are in stop-and-go traffic, and this is where the AutoPilot shines, as I noticed on my way home. So down here, there's this stalk right here. If I go ahead and push this down twice, nothing happens. Believe that engages the cruise control if you push down twice. Now what you really want to do is pull it towards you twice, and that will engage AutoPilot. So if you look up at the top right next to the 0, there will be a little steering wheel. When that steering wheel pops up, it means that AutoPilot is available, and that's when you can then pull the stalk towards you twice to engage AutoPilot. Alright, so you can see that steering wheel up there. If I pull back twice, it engages AutoPilot, and now AutoPilot is on, and my car will come to a full stop right now without my feet on the brake. My car is stopped. AutoPilot's on because it's blue, and we are in stop-and-go traffic. So what's great is I can just sit here with my hands and feet off the wheel. Well, okay, one hand is supposed to be on the wheel, I'll give them that, but it will notify you to put one hand on the wheel every now and then But you can see that it has a speed limit sign and then also a max speed. So because I'm going slowly, my max speed will only go up to 18 miles an hour. I can increase that by pushing the stalk right here. If I push it up, it will increase the speed by 1 mile an hour. If I hold it up, I believe it jumps in like 5 mile an hour increments. But either way, that max up there is the max speed the autopilot will go, and then the speed limit sign is so that it knows what you can see. That car started inching up, so I started inching up, but then it stops again. This is pretty wild. And then my feet are just chilling. So like we're going through an intersection right now, and we are still, it's braking automatically. My hands are kind of near the wheel, but coming to a dead stop again. And you can see the speed limit sign and autopilot are engaged. Now on another note, I believe that this is only AutoPilot hardware 1. So some things to note are, does not stop for stoplights, does not stop for stop signs. I don't really want to test what it does and does not stop for, but I know that that's the case just because going up to a stoplight, I figured it wasn't going to brake and it didn't, so I obviously hit the brakes, which disables autopilot. I mean, this is actually wild. Like I'm literally just like hanging out. My feet are not on the pedals. My hands are obviously near the steering wheel but not on it. And like we're just coming to full stops in traffic and just kind of hanging out. So this is like actually really sweet. Like, should I sell my Tesla and get one with autopilot? I don't know. Like it's very tempting, but I mean, it's very simple to use. You just pull that stalk towards you twice when the steering wheel is showing on the next to the speedometer, and then once it turns blue, you know that it's engaged, and that's really all there is to it. You just kind of like chill. Now, I do want to get on the highway in just a minute, and we will put the blinker on. I don't know if it changes lanes or not, but I believe that you have to check to make sure that lanes are clear for AutoPilot 1 before engaging. So that's the AutoPilot is the actual blinker up there. So there's one stalk there, another stalk there. Then you obviously have the stalk over here, which does the gears, and yeah, I think just the gears. There's another baby stalk all the way in the back that does the telescopic like movement of the steering wheel to adjust that, but not really important for driving. Either way, this is pretty cool stuff. Like, it's very nice for stopping the traffic because I can just sit here and chill, do some vlogging while my car drives me. Since my car's obviously driving me and we're in stopping at traffic, we may as well go into the settings over here, and you can go into AutoPilot and set all of these different things. So the first two things are auto steer and summon mode, and they are both in beta. I think that's a very important thing to note. It's meant for drivers to be paying full attention and intervene when necessary, aka stoplights, stop signs. And well, that is exactly why it's in beta mode. Now there's also a speed limit warning, so you can turn that off on the display or chime. So if you set your speed to be higher and you exceed that, you can set it to chime, or I would assume that's what it does with the chime, and it will notify you that, hey, you're going over the speed limit, just so you know, but you know, you can do whatever you want because you're technically still in control of the car, or should be ready to take control of the car. Some cops there, so finally sort of out of traffic now, so I can double tap again. It's engaged again. Will steer through this intersection for me and then maintain my lane. So right now the speed limit's 35 and it's saying I'll do a max speed of 37, and we are going 37 right now. As you can see, speed limit 35 and we're on the road just steering by people. This is actually pretty freaking awesome. And then well, yeah, I'm just kind of chilling. My foot's actually just hanging out down there. The car is steering itself. I do not want to hit this guardrail, but you can see the steering wheel turn as we go around this turn here, which is pretty crazy. Like, I'm not really like fully about this yet, but like, I mean, it's doing its thing. We're staying inside the lines. My understanding is that I don't have navigate on AutoPilot. I don't know if that's actually pushed yet, just because my car doesn't have it, so I'm not really up to date on what exactly is out there as far as AutoPilot goes. It does a great job of staying in the lane, following traffic speeds and that jazz, so I do kind of want to see if it will switch lanes automatically, although if traffic is too high, I do not want it merging into the car next to me. So alright, so now oh goodness, whew, I did not trust it there, but it did brake for me. Wow, look at that. Alright, I was very close to taking over control myself, but it did break. So we're on the highway right now. It's stop and go traffic. Obviously rush hour on 270 is god awful, but the problem is that speeds will like get going to like 45, 50 miles an hour, and then everybody will brake suddenly. But the car handled that well. It's like a little bit like, do I trust it? I don't know. But so on here, you can adjust some things. So the speed limit, if you want to go over the speed limit, you can do relative or absolute, and then set it to like 2 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. So you ready? It's gonna stop again. It's gonna stop again, all on its own. It's pretty wild. I don't fully trust it, like I'm really ready to brake, but it does it. This is awesome. I will say that this works really well, at least for like this, just staying in one lane on the highway, stop and go traffic. This is perfect. It's actually ideal. Like I'm chilling, I'm vlogging. This is great. This is only AutoPilot 1. Like right now, it says apply slight force to steering wheel. If I touch it, then it goes away, and it's obviously braking because of traffic. Now, I will say that it does brake a little bit late for my liking. I'm like, is it gonna brake? Is it gonna brake? And then it suddenly brakes. So I don't know if that like distance adjusts if you're going faster or what. I do know that there's a forward collision warning setting that is off, late, medium, and early. And right now it's set to medium. So I'm wondering if I set it to early, it'll brake earlier because it'll like do the forward collision warning earlier, meaning maybe it'll brake earlier. I'm not sure though. There are also other settings that say lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking, and obstacle aware acceleration. So it's pretty good stuff. So far so good. I mean, it's kind of late braking for me, but you know, as long as you are ready to brake need be, I think it's fine. Keep your hands on the wheel. Obviously this is beta mode. This is not full self-driving autonomous vehicle level stuff, so drivers should always be paying attention. But I can just kind of sit and stop and go traffic on the highway and not really think about it, which is actually really nice. I'm curious to see what it's like on like back roads. So the lane markers would still be there, but you know, you're not following other people. You would still have to obviously brake for stop signs and stuff like that. But just sort of see how it is on those roads, how well it cruises around turns, how close it gets to the edge of the road. So let's do that now. One other thing before we get off the highway. So the cool thing is that like in front of me right now, there's a truck. So it's actually like a little image of a truck, because we have like a big truck in front of me rather than just like a normal car. So it does actually realize that it is a larger vehicle. All right guys, we're gonna attempt a lane change. So right now I can check my blind spot. I know that nobody's next to me. There's a Jeep like a little bit off behind me, but if I put my blinker on, it just switched lane. That was actually pretty sweet. That was pretty sweet. Guys, we got a police officer right there. Watching people for HOV and speeding. We also have another one right up there. That cop already pulled over someone within like 20 feet of pulling over someone else. That's too funny. I guess it's HOV. Got him. Got him. Uh-oh, guys. We got a cop right in... Oh, gosh. Oh, almost hit that truck. Sheesh. Hold up, hold up. More cowbell. My car does not have this. Bow Road. Pull the cruise stalk towards you 4 times quickly when auto steer is engaged. Oh, definitely gonna do that. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa! No way. Man, I'm kind of getting bored of driving. Jeffrey, could you drive me, please? As you are, sir. This is fantastic. Just throw on some autopilot, just cruising, got my foot off the brake and stuff. I'm curious to know what's gonna happen up here, because there's a little bit of a turn lane, but oh, look at that, it auto-corrected. Wow, that is actually pretty neat. So now you can get an even better idea. Here's a nice wide angle. So my hand is not on the wheel, it's near the wheel, of course it's near the wheel. But we're just kind of cruising. Unfortunately, this guy's going super freaking slow, 32 and a 40, so thanks for that, buddy. But I mean, it's nice. Like, we're gonna go around this curve up here, and if you watch the steering wheel, you can see that it curves, or as the road curves, the steering wheel turns nicely, and you're just cruising right along. I mean, it's pretty nice. You know, if you're just cruising home after work, you can't pass people, you might as well just turn on autopilot, because obviously I can't go faster than this guy, and you can't go around him, so You just kind of chill behind him and set some autopilot. All right, guys, right up here, there's a really sharp turn, so autopilot's enabled. This is like a 90-degree turn almost, so I'm very curious just to see, like, it actually takes it, oh, it did not take it that well. So that is definitely a limitation of AP1 right there. So that's why you got to pay attention, guys. Now, we do have another sharp turn up ahead as well, so let's re-engage it. Let's actually drop the speed down just a little bit. This is a very sharp turn, and I am a little bit worried. I didn't trust it there, and if we overran, we'd go into the shoulder. Okay, so here we go. We have a right-hand turn right here. Are we gonna make it? Oh, that was a little close, but we made the turn. It definitely it's close to the edge. I'm looking at my side mirrors to see how close I am. It definitely hugs the right shoulder a little bit more, I think. But all right, here's another turn. Let's see how we do here. Oh, that definitely went over the yellow line. Yeah, so back roads, Autopilot 1, I guess not quite the same. It's really not quite the same as I guess the new, I don't know what the new Autopilot hardware 2.0, 3.0, whatever it is. I'm assuming that this is 1.0, and it is definitely not quite up to snuff with 2.0 and or 3.0. I don't know if they're one and the same, if it was just upgraded. I think the 3.0, they're retrofitting on people that have 2.0, maybe something like that. I don't know. Either way, I think they're updating the computers for 2.0, 3.0, but the hardware is all there if you have 2.0. Maybe that's my understanding. Irregardless though, clearly did not take those turns very well. It's not bad. Sorry, just parking. You know how it is. It's not bad. It's just the use cases are very specific. So as long as you're kind of just traveling straight in one lane, aka highway driving, or even like fairly crowded road, but fairly straight, not too steep of turns. I was only going 30 miles an hour, and it was crossing the yellow line around those turns. It made me very nervous, so I would not trust it in those cases. So it's a nice feature, but unless you're really getting the new cars with AP 2.0 or later, or the upgrade to 3.0, it may not be worth it, because I mean, clearly it's highway right now, and I don't know if this is actually going to get any better for back roads. I don't know if they're working on this at all anymore or what, but first impressions are, it's fun, but then I'm also thinking, like, it's only if you're driving in that stop and go traffic. Other than that, I don't know how much I'd use it. Like, I personally like to drive faster, and when I drive faster, it means I'm switching lanes and potentially passing people. I'm also modulating my speed a lot, looking out for cops, etc., etc. So highway driving for me, I do really enjoy it, and that's why I did forego getting an autopilot car when I was looking for my P85. I didn't see it that necessary, so I wanted the performance, and it was lower cost to get one without autopilot. That's ultimately what drove my decision. I will say, absolute blast. I'm definitely going to use autopilot because it's a fun little gimmick. It's nice in stop and go traffic. I'll give it that. But twisty back roads, it just doesn't work for that right now. At least not this one. So I don't know if there's a way to fix that, if they can update, if they're still working on it or not. But maybe 3.0 will fix that if that's the case. I mean, that's assumed to be the case because the assumption is full autonomy going forward. So we'll see. I'm very excited what's in the future, but for now, I'm just going to enjoy my P85, because until full autonomous, like anywhere you want to go, you still got to pay so much attention that it's almost stressful. So it's like, well, I'd almost rather just drive the car right now, I think. But it's fun, don't get me wrong, and for highway driving, I think it's fantastic, but there's definitely semi-limited use cases, and you really have to be paying attention and careful in those other situations. So hope this was helpful, and very cool stuff. But if you guys enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching.